In this video, we're going to go through the metrics and KPIs, and you can either go to them here from the overview, or you can go from the metrics and KPI tab here in the navigation. So this is where you both create and track and add measurements to follow what's happening with your project. What are the things that you want to be measuring? There's different things you can measure. Either you can measure resources you need. This could be money, this could be human resources, this could be seeds that you need to plant, etc. Then we have activities that you can track, for example, how many trees you planted, whatever activities you're doing in the project. This could be FPIC related topics, this could be anything that you want to track, an activity that happens within the project. And then you have result metrics, and these are metrics especially related to result that you're achieving. For example, how much biomass do you have, how much carbon credits are you getting, and there's different ways, of course, then to measure those results. So that's the three types of metrics that we are creating. When you create the metric here, you can filtering based on different types of metrics, and you can add measurement points. Here, for example, you can see that I've added a measurement point, and you can create more measurement points by adding different points in time. For example, how many trees in this case would you have planted, and then you attach proof that it has happened. But let's say that I want to actually now create a metric. Let's use the tree planting as a sample. Tree planting is an activity, so of course if I would look at tree growth, it would be a result, but the activity itself of the action of planting the trees. I can write the description about this metric if I want, but if I don't want, I can save and continue, and I can start configuring my metric. So here I can either select from a pre-made list of metrics that are available, for example in this case trees planted, or I can create the new unit of measurement. In the unit of measurement, I can then give it the unit of measurement a name, I can specify the type, and I can add a symbol to it. Decimals or not, is more an improvement or less an improvement. Certain metrics, you want to reduce something, then less would be an improvement, but if you are like more would be an improvement. Then I can select how often am I measuring it. Is it continuous or is it fixed intervals? This would be especially if I want to be reporting on this and checking every, for example, month. I could input that I want to do this every month, and then it would suggest the next measurement date. If this is not the case, I can change my next measurement date. If I'm starting the measurement in a year when the project is actually ongoing, I can input the measurement date when I'm expecting the first measurement to happen. Then I can choose how am I creating the measurement point? Am I adding the difference? For example, in trees planted, am I adding from the last measurement point I planted, let's say 10,000 new trees, or am I adding the total, for example, planted 500,000 trees? So this depends also how I then want to be adding those measurement points. Then I select the monitoring system. Well, in this case, I could use photo proof, or I could use document proof. I can select, and this is also where we are connecting to third-party applications. So you could also, when you connected a third-party application to the system, even automate the measurement of this based on the results that are coming in from a measurement application. Then am I proving per unit of measurement, or am I giving proof per measurement point? And there's of course explanations here as well on how these work. But if I say proof per unit of measurement, I would, for example, in the case of photo proof, take a photo of every tree I plant. So this would be a way then to track if, for example, I want to be taking a photo of every tree I plant, I would say proof per unit of measurement. If I say proof per measurement point, it would allow me then to take a photo or a few different photos about the area that I planted in a specific day or during a week. This would then allow me to add the proof based on the measurement point I'm creating, which could be daily when I planted, or it could be weekly, it could be hourly. It doesn't matter how often I'm adding measurement points. Then I start from, where am I starting from? How many trees do I currently have? None. And then I'm adding my goal at the end of the project. Let's say this is where I want to get. So this is how many trees I want to end up planting. And then I save and continue, and I can already, if I already have started the project, I can at this point add a measurement point and say how many trees I so far planted. For example, if I'm creating this and your project has already started, you could say that, okay, I've already planted, let's say 20,000 trees, and then you would add a measurement point of those 20,000 trees. But if your project hasn't yet started, you can skip this step and just click save, and it creates the metric and KPI, but it doesn't yet add a measurement point. And now I can see it showed up here at the bottom. And because I selected that this is a monthly measurement, it's not continuous, it would add a suggestion for when is the next measurement point supposed to happen. And this would also then allow you to start tracking, for example, if you're late on adding a measurement point on certain metrics that you want to be regularly tracking. This is how you are dealing with the metrics and KPIs, and the ability then to be tracking, for example, resources with money coming into the project, for example, or seedlings. The activities really connected to a project management system where you can actually start tracking the activities you're doing on the ground, and then the result metrics, which then of course you're monitoring through a monitoring solution. And connect those as proof to these metrics happening, and then tracking the process where you currently are with it.